Okay, let's talk about it. So I've been holding on to this word for about like 3 days because I also wanted to make sure that I was putting out as much information pertaining to this, because not a lot of people understand this, and it's very deep. It's very deep. It's very hard to explain. So it's not an easy articulation, if that's even a word. But the other day, the Lord was showing me in the spirit that, he's bringing kingdom marriages together, but he also showed me a lot of misunderstanding in these kingdom marriages, because many people still don't have an idea or are even aware of the principalities that they were fighting against. Many people don't even know the type of spells and rituals and things that were done for you guys to have a misunderstanding, okay? And I also gave an amazing woman that I spoke to yesterday information about this as well, to let her know that this is really a thing. Now, when I was communicating with her, I was able to see in the spirit that in her case, like, there was 2 candles that were used in the witchcraft, and there was a string attached to these 2 candles, and this person that was doing the spell was trying to separate her and her person, but they were trying to cut that cord that is connected to her and her husband. Now, I tell you guys all the time, a cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. This is in the Bible. When God, listen, there's marriages that people pick based on their free will, right? And then there's marriages that are ordained, that are according to God's will, that God says, I need you to be with this man, or I need you to be with this woman, because this is according to my will for your life and their life. There's a purpose behind the both of you guys being together, a purpose that's going to fulfill an assignment for my kingdom. Like, that's how God is pertaining to kingdom marriages, right? And he will make sure that these 2 people, no matter what's going on, you will always crash into each other in life. Okay, what I mean by crash into each other. There's a song that even talks about this, but not many people understand this type of stuff. So if you guys heard the song today, you guys would understand what's going on. But back in the day when the song came out, not a lot of people even had this type of knowledge pertaining to like spiritual warfare and pertaining to like kingdom marriages and stuff like that. Yes, but because there's some people that God ordained to be with each other because there's a purpose for his kingdom, right? They will crash into each other, and they're always going to bump into each other. As in, God will always align them together. Like, you may be in a big city, and the city is so big, like, it's rare that you guys bump into each other, but you guys are always bumping into each other. You're always seeing their name everywhere. It's almost like God is always consistently reminding you that this is your person. You can't get away from their spirit no matter what. Everywhere you go, there's a reminder from God that that's your person. And that is to keep you in alignment with his will. That is to ensure that you are not confused about the person. You're not confused if they're your wife or your husband. You're always going to be in his will. You're always going to be aligned in his will. God will make sure that you are reminded on a daily basis, and God will make sure that they are reminded on a daily basis. And you guys will always crash into each other without even knowing. Like, you'll be at the grocery store, and there's thousands of grocery stores in the whole state or city, but you guys keep bumping into each other in the same grocery store. Even if you guys don't see each other, you guys are around each other at the same time. You ever watch movies where 2 people are meant to be together, and they're always around each other even when they're not aware? They'll show you a clip in the movie of where the female is. She may be in a library, and then the male may be in the store next to the library, and they're right next to each other, yet they don't even know they're next to each other, and then they separate ways. They go their separate ways, but yet they're looking for each other. Do you get it? It's like that. God will always make sure you guys crash into each other because you guys are always reminded. And if you guys don't physically crash into each other, he will always make sure that the reminder's in front of your face. You may order something from Uber Eats or something, and the person that delivers your food has the same name as your husband. You may be like, okay, God, I see you. That's strange. And you may be thinking about the person in your mind, like, they just came in my mind, and there's a license plate that has their name or their car. You'll notice that, like, you're seeing their car everywhere. You're not looking for it, you're just noticing every direction you look in, you're seeing the same car that they have. And God is going to always remind you, basically. So that's what happens when, two people are meant to be together according to God's will and they're in alignment. They're always going to be reminded. So that is the cord of 3 strands. That's you, your cord, your partner's, that's your cord, your partner's cord, and the Lord. So that is the cord of 3 strands. That's why when they do love spells and separation spells, that's why when they do love spells, they try to join 2 people together with what? A string, because the string represents the cord. Do you get it? When they do separation spells, they try to cut the cord. They have to try to put a string and cut the string in a separation love spell. And I know this because whenever they were doing love spells and separation spells, against me and my kingdom husband in the past, I would see visions of them tying 2 strings together when they're doing the love spells, and then I would see a vision of them trying to cut the cord, right? So why they use a string is because the string is a representation of the spiritual cord that is connected to God, that is connected to you two, that's connecting you guys together. That's going to always keep you guys in alignment, where you guys are always going to be reminding each other. That's what they're trying to break, but they can't break that. What's from God will always be. Nobody can break that. Can there be distractions? Can there be interferences? Can there be delays? Absolutely. And the reason for this is because many people are unaware of this type of stuff. My people will perish for a lack of knowledge. People are so afraid of understanding certain things or understanding these things, they run away from the knowledge even when it's in their face, right? For instance, I was telling someone yesterday, what happens is basically if one person is not aware and not doing the right thing and they're not walking with God, they can fall into the trap of being affected by this love spell or this separation spell. Okay, if both parties or one person is, right? If you guys read my book, you'll see I go into more details about this stuff. In order for a love spell to actually work, that person has to be out of alignment with God, as in, like, they're not complying to God's will. They have a lot of doors open. They're not doing the right thing. So they're not as covered. They're not as protected, right? And because they're not doing the right thing, they're not as covered, the love spell and separation spell will actually have an effect on them. Okay, it won't last long, it's not permanent, right? But it does cause delays, and this is what can cause a lot of confusion, misunderstanding, even like you guys just really resenting each other if you're not aware as to what happened, right? So if the witch that is doing the spell, right, is wanting the person, wanting the man. And the witch is looking in to that man's destiny, looking into it illegally. Okay. And this is an example. And the witch can see that that man is destined to be with a particular woman, and it's a destiny from God. There is an alignment. There is a spiritual cord that is connecting them together, that no matter where they go in the world, God will always allow them to crash into each other. There's always going to be a realignment, right? A realignment. They're always going to be reminded of each other, etc. Dreams, etc. Right? So that witch will see that that person, that woman, is meant to be with him. Now that witch is going to try to destiny swap with that woman. Now, how would she do that? The only way she can attempt this is if, one, she has to get the man to fall in love with her, but she has to match the level of the level of frequency of the love that he has for this other woman. So how can she match it? She's gonna have to do a love spell. But if the man is already aware of this woman and loves this woman, how can the love spell work? Okay, she's gonna have to do a separation spell first and then do a love spell. What she will do for the separation spell is she's gonna do whatever witchcraft she's doing, but the motive is for him to forget this woman. The motive is for him to lose feelings for this woman, to lose interest for this woman, right? And usually when a separation spell is done to you and your partner, you'll know, because one day you'll be so madly in love with them. Like, you're like, I'm so blessed, I'm so happy that God picked this woman or picked this man for me, and then all of a sudden the next day you're feeling numb towards them. You're feeling numb. It's almost like you don't even care if they move on. You don't care if they're with somebody else. It's like you feel so numb to the relationship. The feeling that you had once had, that made you feel like you're on cloud nine, made you feel like the most happiest woman or man in the world, all of a sudden that feeling is gone. And because here's the thing, when it's a love that God brings in your life that is for you, their love is so their love is at the highest level because it's from God, to the point where it makes you a better person. Everything around your life is going to be better because this person is in your life, or because you know of this person and they're supposed to be with you. So everything is like coming into alignment, and it's positive, it's happy, it's good, right? So when you start feeling numb, you start feeling like resentment, you start feeling all these emotions, and you're like, wait, I went from loving this person to also feeling numb and losing interest in them. That's how you know there's a separation spell that's being done. So in order for the witch's love spell to work, a separation spell first has to be performed to get you guys to lose interest. How the witch can get the man to fall in love with her, or to even cheat in the first place, is he has to not have any conscience. He has to not have any guilt. He has to not have any remorse. How can she get the man to have to feel like this in order for him to cheat, in order for him to break your heart and to leave you? Well, she has to do a separation spell to numb his emotions, to numb his feelings for you. So if he does decide to move on with her, or he does decide to step out the relationship, and he does decide to go elsewhere, there's no conscience, there's no conviction, there's no guilt, because why? He's numb. That's what they do. It's to numb your emotions, to numb your feelings, right? There's a song where an artist was basically saying like she's trying to cry but she can't cry. That means that she was under a spell and they were numbing her emotions, so she's not able to have any feelings, right? So that's what they do. The same effects of this is like antidepressants medication. So the spell is like similar to an antidepressant medication, where you have no feelings, no emotions, no nothing. Once the witch makes the man numb of feeling any emotions for you, the man is going to think he's feeling numb because he doesn't love you anymore. There's no love anymore. Maybe you're not really the one for him. He'll start thinking these things because he's unaware of the spell being done to him. So now that she's aware that he's feeling this way towards you, right? Now she's going to go and perform the love spell to bring him to her. But in order for her to match your energy, she has to siphon your energy through him. Do you get it? She has to siphon your energy through him. She has to copy everything pertaining to you. She has to do things similar to you. Now she also has to live off of your energy. So she has to use him to siphon your energy. So after she siphons your energy through him, she starts to operate through your energy. So he's feeling the feelings that he felt with you now with her. Now he's thinking to himself, wait, the person I originally felt these feelings for, I don't feel these feelings for them no more. So maybe they're not the one for me. But this person, I feel strongly for this person, so they may be my actual wife. Do you get it? And now he's moving on to her, right? And you being on the other side of all this, and you being the original person that he's supposed to be with, now you're feeling drained, you're feeling heartbroken, and every time, and now that you know he's moved on and he's with somebody else, right? You're noticing the connection's not as strong anymore. You're noticing, oh my gosh, it feels like a part of me is missing. It feels like there's a hole in my heart, like a part of me is missing, like I don't feel like full anymore, because now you know that there's some of you that is being given to someone else, right? Wow. There's another, I remember another song where somebody was like, I have to look in her eyes and see that she's half of me. That the reason why she said that is because they have a connection, a spiritual connection that's ordained by God for them to be together, right? So him stepping out the relationship, he gave her half of her. Do you get it? So that's a destiny transfer attempt. So yeah, it's very deep, and it's, I don't know if I can explain it all in this one video, but that's what happened to majority of you guys, where somebody, a witch or a warlock, was siphoning, your energy in order to operate as you, in order to for their love spell to work, for your partner to fall for them. So your partner is falling for them, not noticing that this person is actually using your energy. And in the time frame of them doing that, it affected you, where you got sick, you were tired, you were stressed out, and that's how they fed more off your energy. So it's very deep. And what usually happens is the person who's getting their energy siphoned and whose partner is going elsewhere now, they usually start to catch on first as to what's going on, because they're the one that like is feeling the negative effects of this, right? Remember, the partner is only feeling the love spell effects, thinking that they're in love with somebody else, but the person that's being siphoned, they're going to feel like they're missing, like something's missing, and they don't feel whole and something's off. And then when they finally receive revelation from God, like via visions or dreams, that yes, there was a love spell done, the witch will also know that you are aware that a love spell has been done. And when the witch finds out that some witches are very ruthless. So some of them, if they know that you know what they're doing, they will taunt you, they will torment you. So they'll purposely be like, ha ha, I have him. Ha ha, look what he's doing for me. Ha ha, this, ha ha, that. And they'll do this in the spirit while they're doing their love spell. So it's almost like not only are they, you know, hypnotizing that man, making him think that they're the person for them while using your energy to do it, right? They're also mocking you in the spirit, and they're throwing things in your face in order to get you to resent the person more. But the more hurt you are, the more angry you are, the more sad you are, the more energy that's being given to them. They're siphoning that energy. Do you get it, guys? That's how they're able to continue to operate from the energy, is they have to see that it's working. It's almost like an adrenaline, right? So yeah, that's what happened to many of you guys. Many of you guys, you didn't know, but your energy was being siphoned through your partner, right? So the witch was taking your energy through your partner. The warlock was taking your energy through the partner, right? And that's the only way they were able to siphon your energy, is through your partner, because you guys are connected through that cord. Um and that's another reason why, is if your partner was being intimate with other women, that's why you'd be able to feel it in your sleep. You'll feel every encounter, you'll feel everything, because you guys are connected, right? So because you guys are connected, you're able to feel everything. And this is the torment that happens when you're not aware that there's spiritual manipulation going on, spiritual manipulation happening. So but this is what happened. Many of you guys, you didn't know that was going on, and you ended up being resentful towards your partner, or your partner being resentful towards you. And both you guys didn't know that there was someone in between that was manipulating both of you guys and turning you guys even against each other, making them think you're doing things, making you think they're doing things. So there was a lot of manipulation that was going on. And many of you guys, there was people that was siphoning your energy through your partner. And this is why I get so upset sometimes when I see like people going through these things, because it's like, you know, a man may not understand that a woman can siphon your energy through him, and a woman may not understand that a man can say it, people can siphon your energy through other people, right? But especially if you are connected to someone, and it's someone that God ordains for you to be with. So let's just say that your kingdom husband was with a witch in the past, okay? And this happens to many of us. Was it with a witch in the past, and the witch is aware of who you are? The witch can torment you through him. The witch can siphon your energy through him. And he may not be aware. He may not know he's being used as a pawn to take your energy from. He may not be aware. He may just be thinking, oh, I really like this person. I think this is my person, not realizing that you're being tortured and tormented behind the scene, and she's using him. She's getting your energy through him. he may not be aware of that. That's just an example, vice versa, other way around, right? So that is what happened in many of your cases. And yes, although there's a restoration of kingdom marriages happening, God is clearing up a lot of this confusion for many of you guys. Okay. Yes, there was a witch that was siphoning someone's energy through their kingdom husband, right? And the kingdom husband was not aware. And I saw this vision the other day, and I had to explain this to the young lady yesterday to show her just how deep this truly is and why we always have to be, in prayer, and why it is important to step in and to pray and intercede, just like you may intercede for other people, or someone in the church may intercede for someone in the congregation. It's the same concept. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Many people don't know about the effects of the mask and the scrub. A lot of people sleep on it. Okay, so anyways, I will be launching a sale on the masks and the face scrubs today. Okay, I will see you guys later. I love you guys. Bye.